PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds will be free to play this coming January 12th, which means hopefully there will be a lot new players who isn't familiar with this game that will be joining us on the Battlegrounds. With that being said, I have compiled all the tips and tricks that I have uploaded before and some newer ones to help those out who is now just starting to get used to the game. Keep in mind, if you are a veteran player, you'll probably know every single one of these tips already. In this video, you'll find a lot of basic tips and tricks, but as well as more advanced tips and tricks. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So for tip number 1 is inventory management. As a new player, it's very easy to run out of space in your backpack, whether it will be too much ammo, too much bandages, boosts, first aids, or any unnecessary attachments. The best rule of thumb for inventory management is to have at least 3 to 4 first aids, 5 bandages, a few throwables, ammo for your weapons, and then to have an extra scope or any other accessories that you deem that you need or that your friend needs if you're playing duos or squads. Number 2 is having throwables. Each throwable is important in its own way. In my opinion, smokes is the most important and should take priority out of every other throwable. But each throwable, like I said before, is special in its own way. Play around with all of them to see which one you like the most. I won't go into detail for every single throwable since this video will be long enough, but play around with it. Play around with all of them to see which one you like the best. But just remember, for throwables, it's better to have them and not need them than to not have any throwables and needing them at any particular time. Now coming in at number 3 spot, we have carrying of an extra scope. It's always better to carry an extra 3, 4, or 6x scope in your inventory for your primary gun, especially if you have an assault rifle. It's easier to use that long range scope on your assault rifle for mid to long range gunfights instead of your red dot or holographic sight. Now coming in at number 4 spot, we have tunnel vision. Now I'm talking about 2 types of tunnel vision here, looting and gunfight tunnel vision. Now you really do not want to have any of those things. Looting tunnel vision is when you either loot too long or even loot an enemy's dead body right away after you or someone else killed them. Gunfight tunnel vision is taking a fight for too long without clearing your surroundings after a certain amount of time, or going far away to shots to try to third party them. Essentially, you do not want any of those tunnel visions. You have to be wary about your surroundings and make sure it is safe to proceed with looting, and to make sure nobody is going to third party yourself after a long gunfight. Now number 5 is knowing when to replace armor. Pretty much for this tip, always go for the higher tier helmet, especially if it's a level 3 helmet. Even though that level 3 helmet would be one shot, that one shot could protect you from a sniper shot. It's different for the vest though. I will go down to a lower tier vest after the vest is 60% damaged or more. Now number 6 is closing doors. Now pretty easy tip here, close doors when you come across a new set of compounds. This helps in a lot of ways. If you want someone to crash, they would think nobody is in those compounds, or if you want to rat it out, nobody would know where you are until it's too late. It's simple, yet very effective. Now number 7 is cutting the pie. Now a few years ago, my close friend Plow13 helped me out in explaining this video, or in this tip. So I'm going to have him explain and show you all what this means once more. Now apologies for the quality of this part. It's been taken from my first ever tips and tricks video almost 2 years ago, but it's still effective in 2022 PUBG, and the same applications apply from this day. So enjoy Plow explaining cutting the pie.
Alright, this is going to be cutting the pie here. So what we're going to show is how to effectively enter a room, breach a room, going around corners and so forth. So Brent, I'm going to have you stand right here where I'm at. So visually, what you're going to see is when you're cutting the pie, it's exactly what it sounds like. You're going to look at a big piece of pie. And when you're going around corners, you want to take a slice of a pie each time. When you're coming around a corner, I'll send you the clips here on this, Brent. You're going to take a little slice of the pie each time you keep going around a corner. And what you'll end up seeing is just a little bit of my body each time. So I'm effectively doing it right now. Brent can't see me yet, but you'll start seeing me a little bit here. Keep coming in, and you see how like I'm inching and I'm turning as I'm doing it. So what I'm doing every time I take a side step, I'm effectively taking one slice of the pie away. And when you take one slice of a pie away, starting from the opposite corner that you're coming in, here, come on over here, Brent. So this is what it looks like. Stand behind me. So this is what it looks like, the pie corner when we're coming in. So as I'm standing right here, I can see almost straight along this right wall here. So I know that's clear here. So I'm slowly moving over this way. And as I do this, I'm taking a slice of the pie. And every time I take a slice of the pie, I'm effectively clearing that area. So as of right here, I'm stopped. I'm still not exposed to that whole wall where Brent was just standing. And I've already cleared 3/4 of the room. So as I keep going, I'm still cutting the pie, still cutting the pie, still cutting the pie. And boom. So now, even when I got all the way to here, I don't know if you can see me or not, Brent. Probably not.
I cannot. No.
So, right there, can you still see me?
Oh. No.
Yeah.
I can't see you at all.
I'm lighting you up right now. I'm cutting the pie, and like I said, I've got an angle on you, and you do not have an angle on me. I don't know if you can see me or not, Brent. Probably not. So, right there, can you still see me?
No. I can't see you at all.
Yeah. See how I'm lighting you up right now as I'm cutting the pie, and like I said, I've got an angle on you, and you do not have an angle on me.
Now coming in on our 8th spot, we have bounding in a fight. Now this pretty much means making sure wherever you go, you will always have some sort of cover or some sort of backup to go to if you are in a gunfight. Whether it be by a tree, a rock, by some trenches, or in a house, when moving forward or pushing out a shot, make sure you aren't just running out in the open. No matter how much you trust your shot, it's not the way to go. That's not it, boy. You are not that guy. Oh God. But remember, there's a difference from rushing to the fight and rushing the fight. You gotta be smart on where you are going. Tip number 9 is stay boosted at all times or as much as possible. This one is also straightforward as well, but stay boosted at all times. It runs, it helps you run faster, and if you get shot up and you have to fight right away, your boost will heal you up on its own. It's such, it's like second nature for me to always remain boosted no matter what. I don't even remember how it feels like to be boosted, so just get into the habit of always staying boosted. You'll always find, those boosters and everything throughout the battlegrounds anyway, so you shouldn't be low on boosters or anything like that. Now coming in at number 10 spot is going to the driver's seat right away. Now the back right car seat and then pressing A on Xbox or X on the PlayStation will change you to the driver's seat right away. Now this tactic should be used all the times, especially if you're trying to get to a safe zone or get away from a fight as soon as possible. Now I'll explain a little bit more about this method or another method when I reveal my 2022 sensitivity settings sometime next week or two. So make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications if you want more of an in-depth about this one. But number 11 is switching seats before getting out. Now speaking of driving, if you are the driver and plan on crashing a compound, first off, make sure to slide your car to the side of the wall or building when crashing a compound to mitigate damage from crashing. And second of all, make sure to switch seats before you go out. This helps you have your gun out faster and you will be able to shoot the enemies that are nearby in a quicker manner. Now coming in at number 12 spot is the proper way to do a drive-by. Surprisingly enough, not a lot of people know how to do a proper drive-by in PUBG yet. The proper way of doing it is to make sure, and again I cannot stress this enough, not enough at all, but make sure that you're still holding your right trigger or whatever you have set to drive the car. Make sure you're just holding the gas pedal before switching seats. If you don't, then your car will stall, you will fail, and you will die. Again, make sure you are holding the gas pedal while switching seats to help coast the car for you to do a proper drive-by. 13 is using your waypoint marker. Having the ability to use a waypoint marker helps out in various ways. You can mark the flight path so you can have an idea on where the hotspots would be. You can mark a waypoint for when you see a care package so you could get a rough estimate on where it will be. and as well as marking the best route for your teammate who is driving. Be comfortable in marking a waypoint on the battlegrounds. It really does help out a lot, even if you're playing solo. Tip number 14 is having the auto reload option in your settings. Another simple but is not defaulted to tip, I think is not defaulted by the way, tip is to make sure in your settings you have auto reload on. Essentially, what this does is reload your gun automatically when you have 0 bullets in the chamber. This helps notify you when you have no bullets and helps you not shoot blanks. It's an essential thing to turn on in your settings. Tip number 15 is watching the kill feed. Now this one is a little more on the advanced type of tip and harder to learn, but information is key, and watching the kill feed gives you a lot of information. The more you play this game, the more familiar you will be with different gun sounds and everything like that, and thus the kill feed helps with the information on where the biggest threat is. It also helps in squads to know how many people are knocked between 2 other teams, and or to see if the gunfight is already finished. I could honestly make a whole different video on why the kill feed is an important thing to examine, but again, just make sure you're wary about your kill feed. Number 16 is quote unquote wiggling your ears. Now, this one is cool. This one is a weird one, but a cool one as well. But I have been doing it since day one of playing PUBG. It helps more if you're in first person view, in my opinion, only because I only do it in first person. But what wiggling your ears in game mean is when you are getting shot at from a distance or from behind and want to pin out and pinpoint exactly where you are getting shot at from, I would wiggle your screen around, left and right, to navigate where the shot is coming from. It takes time and a lot of hours of playing, but it helps with changing the sound slightly to know where the enemy is at that moment that they are shooting you, and you'll find their location and everything like that. Number 17 is vertical sensitivity. Now again, I will go more in depth on this on my sensitivity settings video sometime in the next week or 2. But pretty much finding the right vertical sensitivity is a key way to controlling your recoil spray. Now the higher the vert sense, the less you have to pull down on your right stick, and the lower your vert sense, the more you have to pull down on your right stick. There's a lot more that I can go into detail with, but again, that will be in a future video. But I suggest a vert sense on the default of 100 to 110. Number 18 is FPPing inside smoke. That sounded weird. Go to FPP inside smoke. A lot of people use smokes. The best way to rush inside a big cloud of smoke is to go to FPP. It helps you see a down player or someone hiding and or rezzing their teammate. Number 19 is your priorities. Now this is self-explanatory, but upon landing, grabbing the first weapon you see always should be a priority. Whether you drop isolated, medium warm, and especially hot, you should always grab the first gun you see. Not the gun you want to pick up, but try making it a habit to pick up the first gun you see. This helps you go into action quicker than others, and even when landing isolated, you'll never know if there's a ghost parachute that is lurking around. So the moment you have a gun is the moment you're protecting yourself. Number 20 is full auto settings. Now I'm not sure if it's by default already chosen, but make sure to check in the settings that all your guns, especially for your SMGs and your ARs, that is set to full auto upon picking up. The worst feeling is to reload a gun and start shooting at the enemy only to find out that you're in single fire mode. Now I know the OGs would remember this, but we didn't have this option before, and we always had to do the extra step to make our guns full auto because the default was on single fire mode. So that's crucial. Make sure when you pick up a gun and you reload one box of ammo that it's already on full auto. Now for number 21 is do not peek the same spot. Now this tip is for all ranges, short range, medium range, and long range gun battles. Do not peek the same spot over and over and over again. You do not want to be predictable with where you are going to peek, so make sure you have that you have the greatest chance of winning that gun battle. Now number 22 is try to right lean shoot. Now this might sound like a contradiction from the last tip, but it's a known fact that leaning right exposes less of your body compared to leaning right. This has always been the case and has always been a thing with PUBG due to how the character holds the gun. So for this tip, just know leaning right gives you a slight advantage due to not exposing your body as much. This is why majority of the pro players or the comp players or the experienced players tries to manipulate the gunfights so that they are in that, the gunfights for them to have the right peek over the left. Now some people are so good at this manipulation that they don't even think about it, they just do it. Number 23 is a pistol can come in handy, so make sure to carry a pistol around. Now this is more of an unorthodox tip, but a pistol can hold some attachments for an SMG and as well as a red dot or holographic sight. If you haven't found that one SMG that you want to have you can have a pistol that you could equip the attachments for to save later for your SMG. Also, if you do run out of bullets at the end game, you could use a pistol to try to kill that last person as well. It also does save some space in your backpack if you do use it as a attachment holder for an SMG. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? Now number 24 is never sit still. Now this is very self-explanatory and very, very simple. But do not sit still. You'll be a harder target to hit if you constantly move left and right or around in circles. Whether it's inside a building or looting a dead body, try to make your character move at all times. Even when in a gunfight, if you fail to knock or kill a person, do not stay at the same spot. Move around, get a different angle and everything. The only exception to not moving at all is either if you are AFK or your main goal is to rat it out until the very end. But even then, if you rat it out until the very end, they still could find you. So they will find you and they will kill you if you aren't moving. Number 25 is crouch when shooting. Another simple but yet effective tip. Crouching helps you reduce your recoil by a major ton, by a lot. Live by this quote in PUBG. Whenever you possibly can, crouch first before shooting your gun. Unless you really can't, there's no reason why you shouldn't crouch while shooting. Number 26 is leaning left and right. Now in correlation with crouching, a very hard mechanic to master, but it's also very effective, is to be a wiggle boy, quote unquote wiggle boy, which means to always lean left and right while shooting at an enemy. This will also make you a harder target to hit, which gives you the advantage in your gunfights. Now trust me, it's very hard to do. If you are a legit player, this will take time for sure. And even myself, been playing this game for 4 years now, and I still can't do it like others. But even on how bad I am a leaner, it still helps me with my gunfights. But yeah, leaning left and right really does give you an advantage in a gunfight. Number 27 is zone/positioning over kills. Now this one should be a no-brainer as well, but make sure you always have the mindset that your positioning is way more important than getting your kills. You could be the best shot in the world, but if you place yourself in a bad position, there's no way you will win any chicken dinners. Having the better position, I would say, is 70% the way to win in PUBG. Even the comp players will abide by this. If you see any BGE tournaments or have studied on any competitive scenes for any battle royale there is, you can see that the best teams out there will prioritize their placements on the map first before going into any gun battle or going for kills. No matter how much they trust their shots, they need to be in a position where they could shoot their enemies first. Number 28 is centering your shot. So make sure to master centering your crosshair on someone before aiming down sight. This helps keep you on target and as well as help you be more precise on your shots. Now wherever your crosshair is at, that's where the center of your scope will be at when you aim down sight. So why do you think people third-person soft aim at a sniper rifle before scoping it in? It's to help them align their shots before taking the shot. Now go inside training mode to practice this. It helps out a ton. It helps out a lot. When people say their aim is bad or when they whiff their shots at an enemy, it doesn't necessarily mean that they can't control their recoil on their gun. It means that their precision is off when aiming at that person. And again, to help alleviate this, master centering your crosshair before aiming down sight. Number 30 is observe others. Now the best way to get better is to watch and or play with those who are better than you. Watch other streamers who think You watch other streamers that you think are better at the game. See how they pick out fights, see how they rotate, see how they get away from danger. Observing is a great way to know what you are lacking and implementing a lot of tactics and strategies to your own arsenal when playing. I know I'm not the best player, but I have played with so many other people who are better than me that it did help me improve by a lot. Now, tip number 31 is don't get tilted / mind over matter. The final tip for today's video is to not get angry. The moment you find yourself not enjoying the game anymore, or being frustrated or losing motivation to play, you better stop. What good is it to play if you aren't enjoying yourself? What good is this tips and tricks video if you see yourself getting angry? Being angry and playing a game will cloud your mind, it will cloud your judgment, and overall it will put you in a mood that I know that you do not want to see yourself in, especially if you're playing with others. Do you think your team likes hearing you complain over and over and over again while playing, blaming them, blaming others, and not blaming yourself? No, that's not fun at all. You do not want to be known as the person that brings down the mood of the team because you're being negative. So again, stop playing when you find yourself getting angry and in a sour mood. Take a break and come back another day. Now that this game is free to play, it'll always be here waiting for you to return when you cooled off and are in a better mood. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you liked this video of over 30 tips and tricks to help you in the battlegrounds. And again, I know this was a longer video, and to help out even more, there is a timestamp for each of the tips in the description below. And if you appreciate that I put a timestamp, please give this video a like, subscribe if you are new around here, and might as well hit that notification bell. It will be greatly appreciated. Now, there are so many more tips and tricks that people can tell you about PUBG. And that's the beauty of PUBG. No matter how long you played, or if you just started playing, there is something new that you can learn when in the battlegrounds. PUBG is like playing chess. You have to try to be constantly 3 steps ahead of your opponent in order to secure the victory. You have to be mentally prepared to know what to do, but also you have to be prepared to say GG's and move on to the next game. I know I went pretty fast on these tips and tricks, and if you have any questions at all whatsoever, comment them down in the comment section below. I read all my comments, so you'll expect a reply. Or you can catch me on live on Twitch, on twitch.tv/BrentBryson15. Now, like I said in the last few tips of PUBG, PUBG really is a hard game to learn when you are just starting off, but do not be discouraged, okay? It does take time, and it does take plenty of hours to get comfortable playing this game. These tips aren't here to help you automatically get better at the game, but to help you towards the right direction. So with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day, stay beautiful, and have fun on the battlegrounds. And goodbye for now. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did and want to support me a little more, the best and free way to do so is to go to accounts.pubg.com, create an account, and then link your account whether it's on console or on PC, and go to the Creator Appreciation Program and use my creator code, which is Brent Bryson. It's super easy to do, and I would love you for a long time. Thank you again for the support, and as always, stay beautiful and have a great rest of your day. Goodbye for now.